What's up, guys? New build for Hunter Solar 3.0, the first Hunter build I will be doing this season. I'll be honest, I've got a lot more in my mind for Titans and a little bit for Warlocks, but we'll see where Hunter takes me. So for this build, we got the Marksman Phoenix is what I'm calling it. And the aspects, we're going to be running Knock 'em Down, your Solar Supers will be enhanced, and we're going to be running Marksman. So you're going to have increased damage resistance and duration. And then also, here's a big thing we're going to be taking advantage of. While you are Radiant, final blows with your equipped throwing knife will fully refund your melee energy. And then the other aspect we're going to be running is going to be On Your Mark. Precision final blows grant you and nearby allies increased weapon handling and reload speed for a short duration. And when you activate your class ability, it will immediately grant you full stacks. So, for the grenade, I personally love Solar Grenade. You can run whatever you want. I just think Solar Grenade is the best on Solar subclasses. And for the melee, we're going to be running Knife Trick. So you're going to be throwing out 3 different knives, and I absolutely love it. Jump can be whatever you want. I always recommend triple jump. And your dodge ability is going to be Gambler's Dodge, so that in case you are ever without your throwing knives, dodge, get them back real easy. And as I said before, we're going to be running Golden Gun Marksman version, so that your Golden Gun will be able to do precision damage and also create orbs of power on precision hits, just in case it's a higher level content and you're not able to take out the target. You're still going to be able to help your team out by giving them orbs of power. Also, for those that don't know or haven't read the text or whatever, whenever you are Radiant, Golden Gun will become stronger. So that is a nice little thing that Bungie gave Hunters. But, fragments. First off, Ember of Eruption. This will be substituted for Ember of Benevolence whenever Bungie finally re-enables / fixes this fragment. But for now, it's just what we're running with. Get a nice little bump in strength there. But the rest of these are what I always will be running. So, Ember of Combustion, final blows with your super cause targets to ignite. So this is something from D1 I'm so happy they brought into D2. That way, every time you take out a target with your Golden Gun, they will explode and create splash damage, and it's super nice for ad clear, especially since the Marksman only has 3 shots. Next up, we've got Ember of Torches. Powered melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiant. And trust me, you will be throwing a lot of melee attacks, so you're almost always going to be radiant. Ember of Solace is up next, so your radiant and restoration effects will have increased duration. Not really going to be taking advantage of restoration, but radiant for sure. And finally, Ember of Searing. Defeating scorched targets will grant you additional melee energy and a nice little bump in recovery there, so that's nice too. We will start off with the mods. So for the helmet, I like to run Arc Elemental Affinity. So you're going to be using Seeking Wells. Since you're a hunter, you're always moving around. That way you don't have to worry about finding the wells and going to them. They will come straight to you. And it allows us to take advantage of double hands-on. Since you're going to be throwing out so many knives, it will get you your super back really quick. And since Golden Gun has a longer cooldown than Blade Barrage, this will help offset that. On the gauntlets, I chose to run Solar Elemental Affinity to take advantage of Impact Induction. Since, again, we're going to be using our melee attack a lot, it will reduce our grenade cooldown. But the combat mod we're going to be running is going to be Melee Wellmaker. So again, since we're using our throwing knives so often, we will be creating a lot of wells. For your champion mod, it's completely up to you. It's situational, or if you don't care, you can always run fastball. But OPHIDIA Spade, I feel like this exotic gets overlooked a lot, but it is super nice. Grants you 2 charges for your throwing knives. So the reason why I really like this is because in higher level content or just tougher enemies, 1 throwing knife throw is not going to be enough. But whenever you have 2 charge, the first throwing knife is going to cause you to go radiant, and then the second one will likely finish off the job. And because you're radiant, you're going to get your knife charge refunded so you can continue to spam your knives. As far as the mods go, though, Solar Elemental Affinity with Explosive Wellmaker, and then Concussive Dampener, because as I always say, I hate AoE against myself. And then Armor of the Dying Star is a solid seasonal mod to reduce solar and void damage from destroying you. And then on your boots, Solar Elemental Affinity. And because we do not have any restoration from our aspects or fragments, Well of Life will help offset and make us have a bit more survivability. So every time we pick up one of our solar elemental wells, which trust me, there will be a lot, you're going to get increased regeneration. So it's just really nice to have. And then running Innervation, so whenever you pick up a Orb of Power, you get cooldown reduction for your grenade, and also health replenishment. Finally, on your class item, I chose to run, actually it doesn't matter what elemental affinity you run, because all of these are neutral mods, but Font of Wisdom is going to be the combat mod of choice, so that, again, like I always say, you can ignore your intellect stat, not have to worry about it, and max it out with those elemental wells, so that you can focus on speccing into other stats. And we will be taking advantage of Solar Fulmination, so the ignitions will do increased damage and have an increased radius. So this will be going back to that golden gun again, being able to cause targets to explode off of a kill. Just really nice to have that AoE enhancement. For the weapons, I like to run Reckless Endangerment, but you can run whatever you want, really. I just like Reckless Endangerment for Swashbuckler because since you're going to be using your throwing knives and getting so many kills, it will have that enhanced damage for you almost all the time, and it's just a nice little thing to have. But the main workhorse in this build is going to be none other than Sunshot. So the main reason for this is because Sunshot is just a really solid weapon, and also whenever you take out a target, you're doing that splash damage, and that splash damage, when you get multiple kills with it, will create a solar elemental well from Explosive Wellmaker. And then finally we have Hezen's Vengeance with Cluster Bombs and Impulse Amplifier. Cluster Bombs just really helps with that Explosive Wellmaker, and Impulse Amplifier I just like for that increased reload speed. So I will take us down to a quick little lost sector so that I can show you how the build kind of flows together. While we are waiting to land, the Destiny for this build is the same as my Edward Scissorhand build from last season, but it is Horizon Blush on all of the armor pieces with the Shadow's Mask for the helmet, the Solstice Grasp Majestic with the gauntlets, the Queen Cobra ornament for OPHIDIA Spade, the Solstice Strides Majestic again for the boots, and the armor ornament for Iron Banner's cloak for the cloak. I felt like it just looked very much like a Phoenix kind of aesthetic, and I very much liked it. So, just running down here real quick. I am very bad and forgot to run down here before I started the video, and I am trash at video editing, so I apologize. But like I said, just run in here real quick, throwing knife kill, there's your solar elemental well, and you can just keep on throwing them out. Really easy. Okay then. And right now, if you don't pace yourself, that is the one downside. You will run out of throwing knives, so that is why Gambler's Dodge comes in handy. And see if, well, that did not work because he has too much health. But constantly we'll be making solar elemental wells with throwing knives, so gonna have that maxed out intellect, and it is quite nice. So there you go. That is the Marksman Phoenix build. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next Wednesday.